and thinking, is it this tee height? Is it white? Is it pink? Is it orange? Should I stand like this? Is the ball position there? Oh, this doesn't feel right. And then we just go and pull the damn trigger anyway. So let's start off now by showing you exactly how you can stand to the golf ball. But before that, what tee height are you currently using? Like, there's so many options. Pink, white, orange. I don't know. Let's get into it. Now, we need to work out what are we trying to control with this driver setup. Well, from the driver setup, we have to understand that this club is a lot longer. You want to hit it on the up. So both of these factors have to be sort of made to happen through your setup. So let's talk about ball position, let's talk about width of stance, let's also talk about how we can set the body to hit from the inside. Whew. That feeling of long bombs from the inside is what we're all after, right? We are all after that. So let's clear off these first few points. And by the way, follow this routine on the golf course. This is the ultimate guide, right? Ultimate guide. So really nice and simple. What I want you to do is this. Line that golf ball up on the middle of your feet. Turn your left toe away. Move your right foot away to get into a position where we have covered 2 points. We've covered ball position and width of stance. So really nice and simple. Ball lined up in the middle. Turn the left toe out. Just move your right foot away. Well, look how this gets you in the perfect ball position. I also want you to think about moving this foot just to shoulder width apart. Now, for some golfers, this may feel a little bit wider, but you've got to understand, I'm swinging this club a little bit longer, a little bit faster. I need a little bit of a solid base. Now, I've heard so many golfers tell me, Alex, you really turn your left toes out. Well, yeah. It helps me turn, so it's going to help you turn too. So really nice and simply, imagine your feet are like this, just turn them out. Increase your hip mobility, easy peasy. So we've got a little bit of a routine happening here. Line up in the middle, turn the left toe out, right foot away, grab your golf club, grip it in the fingers, loosey-goosey, match this shaft angle to your zip, okay? This is great. This is actually going to allow us to achieve a more upwards arc on the golf ball. Now that's what we're after here, right? Anytime that we have the shoulder set like this, no, we need more of this. So set that golf club, and this is again a routine, matching your zip. Just tilt the shoulders until the butt end of the club is pointing somewhere near your left toe for a right-handed golfer. So it's really nice and easy. We're in, we're tilted, we're down behind the ball. Now, other points I just want you to think about here is, from this perspective, before we jump to that down the line perspective, is my hands are not ahead, they're just slightly behind the golf ball, again to encourage this more upwards hit. We want this, it's a lower lofted club, we need to swing a little bit on the up. Let's jump down the line perspective. This is a vital point. Can we just appreciate this hole? This is probably one of my favourite holes here. A little bit of a dog leg left. Your line is those two trees straight down, so when I hit one in a second, let's make sure we hit it. Now, there is a few points that we have missed off so far. We've not even talked about tee position and the tee height. We will cover that. This is stuff that you have to control with your body first. So for me, it's important that you get the understanding, because once you've chosen your tee height, easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right? So, standing over that golf ball, we're going to go through that routine from the start. Golf ball lined up in the middle of your feet. Turn the left toe out, move the right foot away to shoulder width apart. Club up, tilt it to the toe, address the golf ball. Now, there are some vital factors that I want you to get right. If you set up to the golf ball right arm above the left, again, look what this is going to encourage. I want you to feel like your trail arm is nicely sat behind your lead. This gives you the chance of hitting from the inside, yes, just said, hitting from the inside. So just feeling as though that right arm is behind the left really helps us two things, hit from the inside, but also align these shoulders a little bit correctly, because the ball goes up in our stance, it encourages our shoulders to point a little bit left, and that is a real disaster. I mean that, a real disaster. So you can see, we've got a full routine going on here. How you set up, from ball position, to width of stance, to spine angle, to where your arms want to be. There is nothing more you need to know right now about the driver setup, apart from how high we need to tee it. Now, tee height, by the way, did you just see that shot? I am very happy with that. This is actually a tough driving hole. There's always one of those holes at your golf club, isn't there, that sort of I find really hard, and this is that one. Now, there are so many options with regards to tee height. Do you go plastic? Do you go wooden? Do you go plastic castle? Then you've got every colour under the sun in terms of what colour do we use. Now, it's logical, isn't it? Most of us will have heard that advice from either our playing partners or online or from a PJ Pro. Let's tee the golf ball up half a ball above the face. Now, that's logical sense, isn't it? Because it allows you, and think about it this way, teed a little bit above the face, it encourages that more upwards hit. Now, not to throw any spanners in the works here, but I used 3 different tee heights and for, well, 3 different scenarios, because we can't just have a blanket tee height that we go, you know what, tee at this every time. And I don't want this to scare you. If you're new to the game, what I'm going to recommend is some advice about what I say as a normal tee height, what I use 90% of the time, but the other 10% of the time when I'm either looking for a low one or it bombs away, boom. By the way, that's definition of long. For you and for me, I have a different tee height for that. And I think it's really important you're told this. You're told this, okay? Let's get into this part of the video. So I've got all 3 different tee heights in my hand, and the castle versions. So I've got white, I've got pink, I've got orange. Now again, if you haven't from the start of the video, get in those comments exactly what tee height you are using currently. So, well, let's start middle ground. Let's get this teed up with a pink one. Now, what I want you to understand here is, I told you I have 3 different tee heights. So, for example, pink one gives me roughly just above a quarter of a ball above the face. I put it in the ground a little bit more than probably you do maybe, but a quarter of a ball above the face is what I have as my fairway finder, as something that I look down on and feel comfortable. Sometimes if I tee up too high, it just doesn't suit my eye. I just don't feel comfortable. I literally feel, I promise you this, like I am going to hit it off the planet. Trust me. That is what I use as my go-to tee height. Now, if I'm going to tee it a little bit lower, this is the scenario where I have got an into the wind shot and I'm looking to pierce one through the wind. This would have none of the golf ball above the face. The top of the crown of the golf ball may just match my top edge. So you can see there, I've got a quarter of a ball lower. Now, what would I do if I wanted to hit my long bombs? And I'm going to put this out there. Like, this shot literally comes out in, well, these scenarios. Wide open par 5 that if I hit a long one, I could potentially reach into. A par 4 with no trouble either side. Like I say, you can see it doesn't actually come out that often, but it's good to know why. So when I tee up on this high one, the orange one, this feels like I've got more than half a ball above the face, probably just a little bit more, and you can see this as well. Reason why this is, I like to tee up higher because it gives me more of a chance of hitting it on the up. Now, like I said, this comes with a word of caution to myself, so there's a word of caution to you on this as well. This is a shot and this is a tee height I would only attach to hitting it bombs away. What tee height should you be using? Now, what I'm going to say right now is I think that quarter of a ball above the face, which is probably a little bit lower than you have been told in the past, is much better. I have found so many club golfers of all levels just perform that little bit better with that ball teed a little bit lower. I know it goes against trying to hit it on the up or trying to hit massively on the up, but in reality, I think it really helps and sorts most of us out. So use that pink one, or tee your plastic tee up or tee your wooden tee up at the height of a quarter of a ball above the face. I promise you, I think this is going to be a real revolutionary moment just by getting the right setup, as we talked about at the start of the video, but also the correct tee height. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do.